This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Saints were this close to an NFC Championship appearance a year ago. How will they respond this year as they get an early test at home against the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I'll be back at halftime with a look around the early games. Let's get you over to New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both
no more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. It'll be Jameis Winston leading this unit, the fourth-year quarterback from Florida State.
And there's little doubt that he's looking for a big-time bounce-back season in 2018. Everyone expected a big year in 2017, but the team won just 3 times in his 13 starts. Some of that, you got to put on their defense. They struggled, but there are too many inopportune turnovers that continue to plague him.
And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
Jameis to throw it. And his throw is incomplete. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. But here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. We get a good peek at a man in his 13th year at the controls of the Saints. In his 18th season overall, it's Drew Brees.
And to say that he knows every bit of the New Orleans offensive playbook, terminology, nuances, and creates a few of his own would actually be an understatement for Drew Brees. He makes everything go with that offense and makes everyone around him better. Every time he takes a snap, there's a potential for a big play and a touchdown.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
First down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
After Quan Alexander was drafted by Tampa Bay, I asked someone in the organization, where are you going to play him? Outside linebacker? And they said, no, we're actually going to play him in the middle. And that surprised me because of his size. But as they told me, this is a speed game in the NFL now. And there won't be any faster middle linebackers than Quan Alexander, who uses his speed to evade blocks, slip blocks, and run down ball carriers.
Now Brees on 3rd down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the gun, it's Brees. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have taken the early lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here's Humphries. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Well, these Buccaneers coming off a 4-game drop-off from a year ago, 9-7 in Dirk Cutter's first season to 5-11 last year. It's now 10 straight seasons without a playoff appearance, and in fact, they have not won a playoff game, Charles, since winning Super Bowl 37.
And in order for them to get back to the playoffs, they've got to go through their division, which is awfully tough and high-powered on offense. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. So the Buccaneers made the investment. Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. Also picked up Bo Allen and Vinnie Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles. So the defensive front taken care of. They also picked up Vita Vea, a massive defensive tackle from Washington in the first round of the draft. Then they picked up a couple of corners. They know that on the defensive side of the ball, that's where they have to make their biggest gain to chase down their division rivals.
It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. We focus our attention here on the Saints offense as they come out. And last year, they were coming into 2017 with 3 straight 7-9 seasons. Well, they got it turned around. Won the NFC South at 11-5, won a wild card game, and then we all know the story. Heartbreak in Minneapolis.
But it's one that won't break this team, I don't believe. I think it's actually something that they can use as fodder for the season, as something to build upon. And when you think of New Orleans, you naturally think of offense. You think of Drew Brees. You think of Alvin Kamara last year as a rookie, making the big plays. Mark Ingram running the football, throwing it to Mike Thomas out wide. But the key to this team continuing to get better remains on defense. And I think it was shown in the draft when they made the big move and drafted Marcus Davenport out of UTSA to rush the passer. They know they've got to win their division, which means slowing down some high-powered offenses in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Brees. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Here we go.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 24.
We're waiting.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here's Humphreys. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it again with Sims. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Sims. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Jordan coming off a Pro Bowl campaign in 2017, 3rd time he's had that honor.
And he continues to play better and better as his career extends. Think about it this way. 4th in the league last year in sacks with 13. Helped the New Orleans Saints defense improve overall and help lead them to the playoffs. And now he shares Pro Bowl honors with his father, Steve, who was a Pro Bowl tight end in the NFL.
Brees now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. On 2nd down, here's Brees. Finds his man, Watson over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Brees now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. On first down, Brees. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Brees going to try and throw on 3rd down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Brees now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brees. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal.
Ready, yellow lady, yellow lady.
Now Brees. Touchdown, Saints.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got room. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now the backup Savage. Over the middle to Smith. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. With it is Jackson. Oh, spinning away. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic?
Let's go now. Ready. Blue lady.
Now a play fake here on first down. He finds some open field here. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Set. Green, 39.
On first down, it's Savage. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Ingram churning. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Again, they run with Sims. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
On third down, Winston. And he can't quite pick it. No interceptions so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Again, it's Kamara. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Savage. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready?
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his 1st catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, Winston again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And this is incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And the Saints will have the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Chris Conte. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Throwing on third down. It's Savage. And Gibbs got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Still throwing the football here, even the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run it again with Kamara, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Saints on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A give. This is Kamara. Oh, able to avoid him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Jameis now on first down. And Brees has it over the middle. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Winston now. And Brees, the tight end's got it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. First down, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the red zone now, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll stop him with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll throw again. Winston. Now a desperation throw deep depth. It's the first NFL touchdown of the young career of Ronald Jones.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Orleans, that'll be a happy